we should be proud to be in the industry of sales. In fact, honest truth, everybody, Shah, is in sales.
Sometimes you might know it, but if you have transferable skills, and you know that, Ben, we utilize transferable skills to our lifetime.
There's a lot of people who are saying, I've got a business, or I'm running a small business with myself and 2-3 other people. We never taught how to run a business.
The balance in between your characteristics and your exceptions. You are the unique thing. You have to be unique if you are serving people.
It's not acceptable to justify the means to an end. We should never, to other humans, other fellow brothers and sisters, we don't. There is no justification.
When I'm collaborating with you, it means that I might not have all the positive things that you do, and you might not have all the positive things that I do. So when you collaborate, we learn from each other.
Every customer of every business has a freedom to choose where they spend.
If you do not fulfill their demands, I would say, you cannot own them.
AI seems to be the modern elixir, the solution, the eternal promise is going to be achieved through AI.
I never believed that AI will take over, because it will not. Yes, maybe in 100 years or 200 years if we have robots. Hello everyone, welcome to the Innovative Circle podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Shah Siddiqui, CEO of Time Research and Innovation, 𝐬𝐶 Marketing Agency and Tedbot AI. ICPcast is an initiative to bring innovative ideas, transformative strategies, and forward-thinking insight from various industries, whether it is in technology, artificial intelligence, marketing, finance, lead generation and sales, business advisory and development, tax and accounting, or sustainability. We bring you insights from some of the brightest minds, C-level executives, and industry leaders who are shaping the future. In today's episode, we are thrilled to welcome Ben Kench, author, CEO, and founder of Unique Mentoring. Ben is a business mentor, sales coach, and the best-selling author of Selling for Dummies. His new book, The Son of a Pitcher Man, will be launched in May. Over 20 years of helping businesses scale ethically and sustainably, Ben specializes in sales strategy, team development, and authentic lead generation. Through his consultancy, Ben's Unique Mentoring, he empowers service-based businesses to grow revenue, improve systems, and lead with heart. His philosophy is simple. Sales success comes from genuine connections, not shortcuts. Whether advising boards or engaging with energizing conference audience, Ben's mission is to help business thrive with more money, less stress, and stronger sense of purpose. Today, we will discuss from start to selling, Ben Kench's blueprint for business growth. So, to all our viewers, get ready for practical strategies, insightful discussion, and fresh ideas to help you grow, succeed, and make an impact. Hello, Ben. How are you?
I'm really good. Hello, Shah.
I'm very, very good. Thank you very much for joining today's Innovative Cycle podcast. So, as you know, that this podcast is designed to discuss specifically how you have create momentum in your industry. So we have viewers, they wanted to learn from you and implement that to their work. So we have a set questions that we ask individuals, C-level executives, CEOs, and found the questions are same, but the answer are varies and different. So we learn from you, and our audience, they will learn from you as well. So my first question to start our conversation is, could you provide a brief overview of your business and share what inspired you to enter to this field?
Yeah. So, briefly, in essence, I guess I'm in the sales box. Everybody says, what do you do? And put people in boxes. Sales, because as you mentioned, I am the author of Selling for Dummies. That is a global brand. I'm very, very proud they asked me to write it. So I'm quite good at sales. But, if I look back over my lifetime, I started Shah because I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. And that, I guess, like all religions, is a sales process. It's a persuasion, convincing process. And so without really knowing it. That's how I was schooled. But by the same token, I was always natural good at it. And so that evolved. And over the last, 30, 40 years, I've just found that what I do and what I find easy, because I see things slightly differently, has meant I've been able to help a lot of people in the small business world. And, I'm so blessed that I can, because when you run a small business, when you're in a pressure position in a business, that pressure can just ruin the enjoyment of your life. And I've watched it firsthand as a boy with, I guess, my father with his business ideas. And then I experienced it myself when I was back in England and started a small business. And after a couple of years, had to put that into a skip. And I know how desperate it feels when you're running a business and it's not going well. That is what made me committed my life, helping people with their small business still have a life.
That's great, Ben, because when you engage with businesses and you have wealth of experience. I have gone through with your book a little bit, not actually the entire book, but when I was talking to you, I've been to several of your in-person training and all other things where I learned is that you need to have a set mind to do something great. If you do not have a set mind, that will not empower you. That's one thing. Another thing, people wanted to sell to anyone. As your core message is like, you have to be friend first before you offer something to someone else, because they have to know you properly and understand your product very well. And then people will ask, or you can ask them. Both ways happen. So that's great. We're going to be having more conversation about this. So could you please discuss a key issue in your industry and explain how you reverse making a difference for your clients and collaborators?
Yeah, I mean, you in the world of business and other listeners, the world of sales. So let's pull that apart for a moment. Do you do sales? No, I do business development. Oh, I'm on account management. Oh no, I'm in, the client liaison. And we have got such a distaste for sales that we now don't want the word. And so fundamentally, we have to ask why, and we all know why, because a lot of people lied, told stretched truths, and we got ripped off. We got sold something that wasn't what we thought, wasn't what was promised. And so we've got this trust and dislike for sales. That's inherently valid because people did it the wrong way. But my passion is that actually, when done the correct way, we should be proud to be in the industry of sales. In fact, honest truth, everybody, Shah, is in sales. They have a business. They're trying to bring customers in. That is the art of selling. So firstly, it's about let's reposition it because we don't need to do sales badly. And the second thing that's out there that is the biggest problem, and it's sad, most people struggle to ask for help. There is this connotation, this overlay of mindset from our childhood where, we don't want to say, I don't know. When you say you don't know something, it's negative. When you say, I don't know, we get told off. When you say, I don't know, we're cast aside. We've got this really negative mindset towards not knowing. And I really would love people to be honest and say, I don't know. Can you teach me? Can you show me? Can I learn? I love learning. I want people to embrace learning. I would love us to accept that, of course, we don't know everything. And so the second thing that's really sad is that people right now today listening to this, watching this, they will be probably struggling in some areas. It may be their health. It may be their mental health. It may be actually their relationships. And all of those might be a cascade of their money and their business and the pressure. But they're not asking for help. And that's my biggest wish, Shah, that we can reach out with love and say, come on, it's not wrong to not know. Ask for help.
It's really fascinating the way you describe, because, I know that as a CEO, founder of many initiatives, and as well as supporting and working with business partners, we have a tendency that people will ask you, okay, do you know this? Okay. And when you say no, then they will have a negative attitude towards you. Oh, you don't know that. That means you cannot do it. It doesn't mean that sometimes you might know it, but if you have transferable skills, and you know that, Ben, we utilize transferable skills to our lifetime. Like if you have an expertise, you can transfer that skills to another one by learning it. But you have to have that attitude that you just mentioned, that learn, that, okay, I don't know it, but if I learn it, I can implement it the way you want. So that was a great example. And thank you.
But could I just add? Sorry, I do apologise. I don't want to interrupt, but I think it's worth noting that if we add to that, why do people have this resistance? There's also very real fear. Now, not just fear of looking silly, but fear of being preyed upon, being taken advantage of. We know that in the world of business and sales, there are some people, shall we say, that don't have the truest intention. And therefore, to admit that we don't know means that they could exploit, and we are vulnerable. And so there's a very real fear there as well. So it's, with a little compassion, we can understand why people don't say, I don't know. But, what we have to do with love is to encourage them to be open.
That's right. I think what I have learned from my work and working with you and all other people, that you have to be honest. Like, okay, I don't know this subject, but I think I learn it. I can't produce good results. So thank you very much for adding this value. So my next question who are the clients you aim to help, and what key benefits do you deliver to them?
Yeah, I mean, the world has got so, let's look at what's happened in the last 20 years. It used to be that everybody was employed and that there were a lot of big companies and you had a job. Since the turn of the millennium, and certainly since sort of around 2010, the bias has definitely shifted, that we have had a lot of redundancies, large corporates moving, changing, etc. And so we've had this shift towards more and more small business and self-employed. Now, that means ultimately that there's a lot of people who are saying, I've got a business, or I'm running a small business with myself and 2-3 other people, and we've got a team of employees. But actually, we never taught how to run a business. We had a skill. I could make paintings, or I could make chairs, or I could write legal documents. We had a skill in an aspect, but we've never been taught the whole of business. And so fundamentally, there are a lot of people in this last 10, 12 years where they've got a business, but they don't know all the skills. And then on the other side of that, we've got that, what I specialize in as selling, or sales systems and sales structure. I do love people. I can coach because I've had a lot of years in business, so I don't restrict it to a vertical. Because if you were running a manufacturing company and you had lots of contracts for plastic injection molding, you'd still need to find customers. If you were running a small yoga retreat business, you still have to find customers, and everything in between. So my passion is people. And if I'm good at sales and systems and helping that business attract more clients, then I will serve those that have a business and the right energy.
Thank you very much, Ben. It was a pleasure to talking to you today. So to all the viewers watching this podcast, thank you very much for your time. And we're going to be diving into more details with Ben. And those you don't know Ben, please go to our social channels and you will know about him and what he does. And specifically, if you wanted to talk to Ben, you can also connect him through the LinkedIn and all other social channels. So my next question to you, what makes your approach unique in helping clients achieving these outcomes?
Yeah. Now, how does anyone in this world in a business be unique? What is the USP that everyone talks about? Well, my take, Shah, is the only thing that is ever a USP is you, the person, the living man or woman. If a business creates a sales pitch with a USP along some sort of technical difference or price difference, or then whatever that difference is, it will be copied. It will be either it works and people copy it, or it doesn't work and you won't want to be clinging to that USP. So fundamentally, Shah, the only unique selling proposition, the only unique is the living man or woman, me. But the way I work, as opposed to someone else who might wear the same label. So you might have a business looking for sales development, and I would not be the only one offering sales enhancement skills. However, I am the only one that's working like me. I'm a ball of loving energy. I work intuitively because I care. I have 40 years of refined sales knowledge. I have taught thousands of people and business owners. I have made huge differences to hundreds of companies. And I got the pedigree, but then most people would say that they've got the pedigree. And so what makes me unique is you can sense and feel and touch and work with this energy, this mind, and more importantly, this heart. I will help, or I will say I can't. But what's unique is that I care. And the way I work, well, you got to experience it to believe it, but nobody like me.
That's totally fascinating, the way you describe, because, sometimes when we describe ourselves, we are limiting ourselves, that either we don't trust our inner value or either we overtrust our inner value. So the balance in between your characteristics and your exceptions, you have to stitch it in a way to project in a right way. I think you have done very nicely on your conversation, like, okay, you are the unique thing. You have to be unique if you are serving people. And with heart, thinking, experience makes it more unique to your client base. Thank you, Ben. So my next question to you, are partnerships part of your business model? And from their perspectives, what benefits make you an ideal collaborator?
Okay, yeah, thank you for asking that. And I say thank you because my humble belief is that we as a planet, we as a race, we as a species, we are thankfully evolving. We are moving forwards. We need to evolve. I think by and large, the energy of most societal structures and most corporate structures, the energy is close to slavery. We have an attitude of control and squashing and bleeding from. Now, I know there's good and there's bad, and there's some very beautiful people in some beautiful companies. And I think that's where we have to go. We have to be more beautiful. We have to have an intention that is different. We're not just here to make money. And we're definitely not. It's not acceptable to justify the means to an end. We should never, to other humans, other fellow brothers and sisters, we don't, there is no justification for abuse or for oppression or for controls that limit. And so collaboration, where we openly share, has to be the future. We have to, as a species, step up into a sharing world, not a controlled world. And so, yeah, collaborations is something I'm very, very strong on. And I think that is just sitting there and saying, it's a bit like a partnership. Are we good for each other? It's not that we, sometimes you've got strengths and I'm not so strong in those areas. So we yin and yang, we can dovetail and we work well together. And so I think that the mature way, the grown up way, if you like, is to work together. There are going to be clients where I can definitely make a difference to their business, and I will show them how they could make differences to other people's businesses. And when we have genuine collaboration where it's a win-win, well, then we have to work together.
Thank you. That was a strong message, I would say. Why it is strong? Because, some people, they think that when they collaborate with a similar company, the other company going to steal their resources or steal their client. And I've been talking and collaborating similar businesses. And my intake was like, okay, when I'm collaborating with you, it means that I might not have all the positive things that you do. And you might not have all the positive things that I do. So when you collaborate, we learn from each other. So it's more stronger, more proposition, and more USP to sell our product and services. And you just mentioned that when you're thinking to serve a specific domain, the world is huge, isn't it? So you cannot even tailor a tiny fraction of that. So in that way, if you collaborate with similar-minded people, if you collaborate with similar type of businesses, it will make you stronger. And thank you very much, Ben, for adding this value.
Can I just ask one question? Can you own a customer? Because in my humble opinion, nobody has the right or complete ownership of a customer.
No.
You, as a purchaser know that you as a purchaser could choose where you buy. And that's the same. Every customer of every business has a freedom to choose where they spend. What that means is, at the moment they choose to spend with you. And what that means is, if you keep serving them well and having a proper relationship with them, why would they ever go anywhere else? And so if you fear collaboration taking your client, then I would encourage you to just pause for a moment and reflect on the relationship you do or don't have with your client. Because if you fear losing them, then I suggest there's work to do in that relationship.
I totally agree with you, because when you maybe you have a client, you're serving them, and if you do not fulfill their demands, I would say you cannot own them. You cannot own anyone apart from yourself, not even your family, your children, your wife, or anyone. Why? Because every individuals in this world, they are distinct characteristics. You cannot own anyone. You can serve them, you can have friendships, or maybe you can, as a managerial thing, you can manage some of them. But that doesn't mean that you have the ownership of anyone. That is not like, in a way, you cannot say. So thank you for adding this. So to everyone, thank you very much for watching ICPcast. I'm Dr. 𝐶 𝐊𝐿𝐴, and I have Kench, author, CEO, and founder, Unique Mentoring. For now, we are taking a brief break before diving into some fantastic insights. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
You may know CEOs who consume high-value business content grow their companies 4 times faster, and 81% of business leaders say thought leadership content has directly influenced their buying decisions. So, wondering how to accelerate your success? ICPcast isn't just a podcast, it's your gateway to fast-track business growth. What you'll gain with this program? We will bring exclusive insights to learn directly from top executives and industry leaders. Adopt technology and AI to understand the market and the buying preferences. Build data-driven strategies to foster sales tactics, content creation, and social selling to increase authority and persona. Accelerate transformative conversations to break boundaries, spark innovation, and lead with confidence. On-demand learning to gain expert insights anytime, anywhere, at your convenience. Build a powerful network. Connect with key decision makers to shape the future of business.
So, what are you waiting for? If you are ready to lead your industry with clarity and confidence, ICPcast is your ultimate tool for success. Book your cast with me today. Welcome back to ICPcast. I'm Dr. 𝐶 𝐊𝐴, and I have Kench, author, CEO, and founder of Unique Mentoring. We have got some exciting insights coming up, so stay with us as we dive deeper into the world of finance, technology, marketing, innovation. And let's get a start. So, Bam, thank you very much for your contribution today. It's been a pleasure talking to you, because I think we had different type of guests, but we haven't, as I said, every guest is unique. So we haven't had you. So based on your experience and all our work, I think our viewers will love these episodes of ICPcast. So my next question, could you share your insight on the upcoming industry trends and how you adapting to remain ahead?
So I think that I know that industry trends or business fashions, AI seems to be the modern elixir, the solution, the eternal promise is going to be achieved through AI. But they said that when the internet was born. They said that when we started doing emails, and they said that when we learned about social media. And we are all still here, and we're all still surviving and growing businesses. And in fact, AI will at some stage be replaced. So I think the modern trend right now is that AI is where we've got to be. And I'm going to always say that, well, here's what I do. When I am speaking at conferences, I will say to the audience, who wants to buy from a machine? Go on, put your hand up. Who would actually like to just deal with a machine? Simple truth is, Nobody. Now, that's okay if it's transactional and it's a low ticket item and it's something that is and is. So a tin of beans, no problem, transactional. But if it's a service that is several thousand and it could impact quite badly if it goes wrong, whether that is a home service, new roofing, new wiring, new building, it could be a mobility issue, new car, it could be a business issue, new technology, new staff, whatever as it gets larger, as a human, we have emotions. We need to feel safe. We need to feel trust towards a supplier. So AI, yes, it will do and excellently do some of the pre-meeting or administrative tasks. It can add efficiencies to a human role, but AI is not the solution. Better relationships, better ability, and actually being good enough for their money is the solution. I don't think AI is going to take over, but I think we do have to embrace and integrate it somewhere. What I'm passionate about, Shah, is that business owners get better. It's just, if you're not very good, you'll be the first ones that get cut off when there's a spending shrink. If you're so good and valuable to them, they're not going to let you go. So I think the loving wishes, step up. Don't look to abdicate responsibility to the economy. Don't look for a solution that's beyond self. Look at self, look at us, our company, and say, hey, come on, are we good enough? How can we get better?
Thank you, Ben. You have spoken from my mind. As a data scientist myself, having a PhD on AI, I never believed that AI will take over. Never, ever. Because it will not. Yes, maybe in 100 years or 200 years, if we have robots and they self-sustain themselves, we might have a war, human and robots. That will happen, maybe. Or maybe not, I don't know. Okay. But AI will never take over human. Why? Because you have a heart, okay? AI doesn't have that heart, okay? You have a brain, AI does not have that brain. AI is all about data. So if you have data, it will function. You take off everything from AI, it can function because it's all about data. And when you have data, our brain is unique. It can have a trial and error thingy. AI, I don't know when, will be capable to do that. So you have to be self, you have to trust yourself. And then based on that, as you say, that AI will add value to improve our livelihood. AI will improve a lot of different things. Maybe recognizing diseases, recognizing patterns, giving you right decision for you to take that decision and implement them to your business. Thank you very much for your talking about AI. So could you please discuss a measure of struggle you have overcome and the lessons you have applied to your professional approach?
I tell you what, my new book, The Son of a Preacher Man, which is coming out at the end of May, that is possibly the best answer to this question. Because so here's the thing, Shah, a lot of people, when you're on stage and you're in an area of prominence and you're a best-selling author on a global brand, there is a natural assumption that because there's a perception of success, then there can't be the troubles, there can't be the challenges. It's all right for you, is what the mind of the other person or the audience might say. But in answer to that, what I'd say, I am absolutely just the same in so much as I'm a living man. I am a human being. I have a heart that's sometimes hurt. I have a brain that is sometimes stretched. I have emotions that sometimes challenge me or make me less effective. I am different, perhaps, because I've done a lot of work on flushing out the pain of growing and being a better man. And I've done some work in understanding and studying and learning. But ultimately, I get affected by the same things, Shah. And so I've had journeys where I've had, along the way, huge kicks in the proverbials. I've had businesses, as I mentioned to earlier, where I came and I started a business and 2 years later had to throw it away. And that broke my heart. That hurt. And it was that hurt that drove me to be better. And then with my better learning, that drove me to serve others so they didn't have the hurt. But ultimately, I'm a man, the same as you. And so all I can say with love is if I can help, I will. And there'll be areas where you don't need help. In fact, you're better than I am. But in the areas of sales growing a business, making life rounder and healthier, then I've got stuff I'd like to share.
Thank you, Ben. It's a core message to our audience. Like when you're thinking about solving the problems, you can only solve those problems when you get into, the root of the cause. Sometimes we think, okay, we're going to be solving the problems, but we don't consider to go into the root. It's a fear. If I go over there, if it is my mistake, okay, not the people that I am working, if it is different, that I don't want to accept that. So I have seen that many people, they don't want to go into the root and they don't want to solve those problems by accepting that they might have some, to take some responsibility of their mistakes, of their judgment. And if you don't do that, you cannot solve problems. Like people will have trial and error, isn't it? Because we are not that much perfect anyway.
Yeah. The world seems to have developed a culture of blame. Whose fault is this? Whose fault is this? It's not mine. It's the economy. It's the politics. It's the weather. It's whatever. We've got a culture of blaming someone else and something else. And actually, we have to develop a culture of, hey, how can I be better?
Thank you, Ben. So my next question, can you share a story of particularly rewarding project or client success that highlights your impact?
Oh, gosh, loads. One of the things that comes with grey hair is a lot of past stories. And so I'm truly blessed. I really, truly am blessed. And there are people out there that are close friends. And I've had the total honour of coaching them as their business has grown, and they've gone from, one of my close friends, but a client was 100,000 in debt, probably struggling with a business, turnover about 1.2 million, but a few years later it's turned over 4 million, and definitely not still worried about the overdraft, and several like that. I've had people I've coached with their sales roles where they were on the verge of literally being fired, and their managing director said, please help. And I've stepped in to coach the salespeople and the salesperson. And then 12 months later, they're absolutely flying and their life has turned around. And so hundreds of beautiful stories. And I think, look, I'm here to serve, Shah. I'm good and I love, and I'll share what I know. And if somebody's out there struggling, but they're genuinely saying, I want to fix this, I will accept that I can learn and I will accept that I could be better, then I'll step in and see if we can make them another success story.
That's a great add-on, Ben, because, we know each other for many years now. I can remember that I went to one of your sales training 4 or 5 years back, okay? From there, I've been following you, I've been talking, and I went to different of your sales things and all those things. The things that you said, that you have to understand that you have gap. If you do not consider that you have problems, no one can solve your problems. Even not God can solve your problems. Because you have to reach God to say, I have this problem. God, can you help me?
Yes. Yeah, it's a fundamental step, isn't it, Shah? We've got a culture that says, as well as blame, it says, that we've got this contradictory, if it's to be, it's up to me. And so we've got one side saying it's not my fault, and then the other side saying it's all up to me, and I don't want to let go of control. And it's a very, our minds have been trained and brainwashed really into a way that isn't helpful. And what I'd love to do is help people open their minds, open their hearts, learn and share. And then we can not only fix most problems, but we can create a much happier life for all of us.
Thank you, Ben. So my next questions, how do you measure the success of your work, both for your business and for the client you serve?
Look, we live in the world of business is always about metrics. It has to be. There has to be some measure. Okay. So baseline, if it's a business and that business is saying, if they're honest and they say we're not making quite enough sales, we're not quite making enough money. I've had businesses come to me and say, we're really, really busy. And then I say, okay, so you must be really, really rich. And they go, oh my God, no. Okay, so you're very busy, but you're not making enough money. Something's not quite right. Let's fix that. I have businesses that come and say, yeah, we're making money, but we're not busy enough. So then it's a different challenge. But whatever it is, if there's a willingness, then we can always do a lot with it. If there's a willingness to first accept there's a problem and ask for help, and then there's a willingness to be guided and change things, then pretty much, yeah, look, Shah, the world is full of small businesses. The world is full of people that are genuine. Let's just fix a few problems and help each other. While I've still got breath, I'll do that.
Thank you. And you know that matrices is a cool thing for anyone to grow. When we are collaborating closely now, and you know that most of the time that we talk, we need to think about the matrices. Like, okay, what we have failed, you need to know what you have failed. Unless you cannot improve that, you need to know how you have progressed. The things that you have, already owned from different places. You need to know that the strategy you have got, and that gave you some successes. So if you do not know your matrices, it's difficult for you to learn and then grow. So thank you for your conversation today. We are nearly end of our recording. So next question is, are there any misconceptions about your industry that you would like to address here and clarify with our audience?
We live in a world where a lot of people are looking for shiny objects. And we live in a world, we know there's all sorts of fakery out there. We know it, all of us. But by contrast, we live in a world of social media where we're seeing all these glossy adverts and fancy claims and lovely offers. And it's like, really? Do you really want to believe? How could you ever know? Well, I think we have to do a bit more diligence. We possibly have to buy more carefully. Caveat emptor. Yeah, I think, like we said earlier, Shah, that the person that's buying has got to step up. I think we've got to evolve. My new program is called Business Evolution, and it's about evolving our habits and our thoughts and our intentions. When we evolve with this different energy behind the business, then the business itself will do well. But when the energy behind the business is all about pressure, it's all about cutting corners and making money, then the energy is unhealthy. So therefore the business is unhealthy. So therefore it deserves to be diseased and dying. If the energy behind the business is healthy, good for all, not cutting corners, looking to improve, then the energy of the business will be healthier and it will grow.
Thank you, Ben, because sometimes we don't understand the core thing that people like you or me and people like CEOs, MDs and all other people, they think that we have a magic wand, okay? And they will bring us to their business and we will just say be, and it will be. But it's not like that. It's not be. Our magic wands will only work if our clients, they believe themselves and as well as they take the time to work with us. Otherwise, when I talk to someone, I said, okay, I have a magic wand, but that wand will not be if you don't spend your time with us. If you don't, point out what is your core beliefs, what you need to fix. Because otherwise, we don't know what to do because it's your body, it's your child, and you would know them better than me. I'm just a doctor. You have to tell doctor your story and the doctor will examine and then he will give medication. Otherwise, if you say, doctor, okay, can you see me and examine me? No one can do that. Thank you, Ben, for your...
Just to add to that, and you're absolutely right, but let's follow that analogy. It's like saying, I want to learn to lose weight or I want to be healthier. And so I want someone to give me a magic pill. How insane is that? How about actually questioning what you consume? How about actually questioning your lifestyle and your exercises? How insane have we got to be to say, you have got to fix me and I want a quick fix pill? That's just nuts.
There was a documentary on BBC that people taking this advantage. So they are fixing someone's fat and they're just, they're extracting all the fats with something. And the Botox and all of the things. So they want it to be very nice shape on their different type of bodies and they are injecting gels. Those are very much destroying your body and give you cancer and a lot of other things. So that's not a way that you should do. You should get proper people and then gradually get your question answered and problem fixed in a right way, not quick fix, and that will never work. So my next question, this is our last question before I jump onto the fun part. What advice would you give to inspiring entrepreneurs looking to make a mark in your field?
Okay, so what a good question. So my simple advice to anybody is follow your heart. And you might be in a business right now because it's what you've always done. It might be a business maybe that you decided to do on your own because you were working for someone else doing the same job. But you may know that it's not what you love doing. It's just what you do. And my simple advice is follow your heart. there's a glib phrase we heard a lot years ago: make your vocation your vacation. And the concept being that, you got to make work feel like your holiday. I don't think that's correct, because there is some elements of work, or else you're not really serving. We should be working at giving. We should be working at process so that it's smoother and less friction for those that we're serving. But ultimately, if you're just not in you, if you don't love it, then one day you're gonna be out of balance anyway. So as simple as it sounds, do what you love.
Thank you, Ben. That's the great, I would say, add-on to this podcast. And to all the viewers, thank you very much for watching and listening to me. So now is the fun part. Okay, so we're going to be asking you a few questions. You might answer it, you might don't answer it, but don't take it serious. It's just for fun, because we want it to be fun. So my first question, do you cook?
I'm going to be shameful here and say, so let's separate that question. Do I or can I? Can I? I used to be absolutely rubbish, because I was just, whatever. Food, this is a humble admission. Food for me was function. And so the way I grew up all of my life, I ate when I was hungry. It wasn't ever about enjoyment. So when I cooked, I didn't really cook. I just threw some things together so I wasn't hungry. However, can I and do I now? Yes. I bought one of these home delivery meals, ingredients in a box, and they come with recipe cards. And so I learned to follow instruction and cook with the ingredients that are involved. And I did that because sometimes I'd be home a lot earlier than my wife, and it was only fair to just balance it out. It's not anyone's job. I'm here, I'll cook. So answer is yes, I do. Yes, I can, with the recipe, and it's quite good. Who knew?
That's great. My next questions. Have you ever engaged with face-to-face or with your body fighting? And did you lose or...
When you read my new book coming out at the end of May, The Son of a Preacher Man, you will learn that probably I learned to fight early on. But I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover, as Michael Jackson would say. So.
Thank you. Suppose, I know that you love riding, you love motorcycles or bicycles and all of the things. How far you can go if there is a charitable cause and you are giving a kid's bicycle, that, okay, you're going to be running that kid's bicycle and you need to go and raise funds. How far you can go?
Here's the amazing thing about all of us. You can do whatever you want to do if you want to do it badly. It doesn't matter whether it's a personal goal of losing weight, or it's a personal goal of raising something for a cause that you're close to, or it's a financial goal. We can do anything we want to if we want it badly enough. So if I were to take on that challenge, Shah, of riding or working with a child's bicycle, if I believed in the cause and I was committed enough to it, I'd see it through to the end.
Thank you, Ben. Do you want to add anything, any takeaways to this podcast at the end?
Well, simply this. If you know of, or any of the viewers, if you as a viewer know of a situation in your business or life that's out of sync, out of balance, where you're not happy and you're not healthy, then I would dearly be honoured if you got in touch, because I don't have all of the answers, but I do have some, and I care enough to try. So spread the word. Let's work collaboratively, caringly, species as a collective. We work from the heart and evolve as the energy of this planet shifts. Let's do it. Keep in touch, please.
Thank you very much, Ben. And thank you to everyone tuning to the Innovator Circles podcast. We hope to this conversation with Ben Kench, author, CEO and founder of Unique Mentoring, has sparked fresh ideas and provided valuable insights to elevate your business strategies, whether it is in sales, marketing, finance, or innovation. Don't forget to subscribe to our newsletters on ICPcast.com. Share this episode with your network. Leave us a review, because it helps us reach and inspire more leaders like Ben and bring them to talk to you. Like our page on LinkedIn and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Sales Funnel Accelerator, and behind the scenes content and updates on upcoming episodes. Until next time, stay inspired and stay curious and keep the leading way of innovation. Thank you, Ben, and thank you, and bye-bye.